This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. Started off with some apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. For lunch I had 2 of the chicken drumsticks which I took the skin off. I had some carrot and celery, 30 grams of cheddar and a soft boiled egg. And then I thought I'd try this, which is pineapple cottage cheese. It's 1 sin per 100 grams, so I got that weighed out. And it was actually really nice. I don't know that I've ever tried cottage cheese before unless it's mixed into something. So I'll definitely be having this again, mainly because I've got 3 portions worth, but it was definitely a successful try. For tea, I had 2 of the plain chicken breast Iceland skewers. I had half a pack of the Aldi Mexican rice, which is 1 sin. I had a little bit of butternut squash, some beans and some carrot and celery. Then to finish off my day, I had 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B and 2 Chewits, which are half a sin each. So I'm ending my day on 4 sins and I'll see you tomorrow. My name's Emmeline and this is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. So started off the day with brunch with my mum and sister. We went to the pie shed in Murfield, which is absolutely brilliant because they do have a whole section of the menu that has the sins on, and they have some really low or 0 sin options. However, I decided to go for the Mexican eggs, which is a slice of sourdough toast, some avocado, 2 poached eggs, 2 slices of halloumi, which I'm going to count as my healthy extra A, and then some chilli sauce style topping, which was absolutely delicious, and then a tiny little bit of speed veg on there with the spring green. Then because my hubby didn't get invited to brunch, this is what he sent me, which I thought was hilarious. Then I got my shopping list ready and got to the shops. However, I was out a lot later than intended, so ended up having to make quite a quick and speedy meal for tea. So it was pasta and meatballs for tea. The sauce that I used was this one from Aldi, which is 1.5 sins for the whole jar, so I just counted it as half a sin for my portion, because I split it between the 3 of us. I had the Aldi pre-made meatballs, which are half a sin each, and then a little thing of this tear and share bread, like garlic bread, which was 2.5 sins each. I had that with a little rocket and parmesan side salad, which used part of my healthy extra A for, however you get loads of parmesan for a healthy extra A. And I had a half a sin worth of the raspberry balsamic glaze, which is absolutely top tier. And then finished off my day with 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B. So it's 5.5 sins for dinner, unknown for brunch, but I had a lovely day and I'll see you tomorrow. I was on my way out early this morning to do a first aid course, so I just took with me an apple and one of these Banoffee Pie Lindor yoghurts. These are really, really nice and just half a sin. For dinner, I had 2 of these chicken drumsticks. I actually took the skin off when I eat them, but they were marinated in salt, pepper and some chicken stock. I did them with soft-boiled eggs, some carrot and celery and 1 sin worth of the pineapple cottage cheese. That is really, really nice. I'm starting to like it. I was cleaning out the camper van this day, including getting all the garage out and everything, which I feel like I should get some bonus points for because I was absolutely sweating. And I had 1 of these cheeses, half of my healthy extra A to keep me going. For tea, I made this beef and roasty pie. It's out of the Soul Food Slimming World cookbook. It was actually really, really nice. And I was going to do a recipe video. However, it went a little bit wrong because I got distracted as I was cooking. But basically, I browned off some beef and put that to the side. I then sweated down 2 onions, some carrot and celery, as it said in the book, with 4 cloves of garlic. I put in 75 ml of water and let it sweat down again for another 5 minutes. I then added 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I was supposed to add 2 tablespoons of flour, however I didn't, and I think that might have made the beef a little bit more tender, however I quite liked it. I then added a tablespoon of rosemary, thyme and mustard powder. That's quite a lot. I think it's more mustard powder than it says in the book, but I quite liked it. I added 600 ml of stock and then got that into the oven. While it was in the oven, I diced up my potatoes and did them like you would do Slimming World chips, just put a little bit of rosemary on them. When they were about 10 minutes away from finishing cooking, I put them all together and let the potato soak up some of them juices. Like I say, it was really nice, it was sin-free, however you do have to have time to make this because it is a little bit of a faff about recipe, there's lots of bits to do. I forgot that I'd already had a yoghurt for a day, so I had another one of these, which is half a sin, and I finished off the day with 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B. I thought I was done for the night, but then I found one of these dairy milk chocolates, which are 3 sins, and because I only brought 1 up and not 2, I actually shared it with my hubby, so I'm going to count that as a sin and a half. So I'm ending my day on 3.5 sins, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. I started off with apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. For dinner, I had some carrots, some of the pineapple cottage cheese, a soft-boiled egg and some of the chicken drumsticks, which took the skin off. I didn't have any celery in the fridge, but I actually think it's still a colourful plate. I then got my butt to the gym. I've actually started to get to a point where I never thought I would get to, that I actually enjoy going rather than dragging myself there, which is really good. For tea, it was lasagna soup that I got out of the freezer. I did it with normal pasta rather than the fresh lasagna sheets because I didn't have any. And I had a parmesan and rocket salad on the side with half a tin of the raspberry balsamic glaze, which is delicious. I then had 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B. I really feel like if I have my healthy extra B on these that I'm having a little treat at the end of the day and it stops me snacking so much. I then finished off my day with 2 Chewits, which are just 1 sin. So I'm finished off my day on 2.5 sins and I'll see you tomorrow. Started off with my apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. I then got caught short for dinner and I had this duck and chicken sushi, which is 1.5 sins, and some pork slices, which is sin 3. When I got home, I had some chopped up carrots and one of these Cathedral City, which is half of a healthy extra A. Then for tea, it was the beef and roasty pie that I made the other night, and I had that with corn on the cob. It didn't need any butter because it was really, really nice. I had one of these Lindol Protein Plus yogurts. The banoffee pie one is my favourite. I then went to Cubs and we were making like Easter buns, and I was so tempted to eat so much of the chocolate. They actually sent me downstairs to melt some in the microwave, and I was just like wanting to eat it all and I didn't. However, I did have one of the little mini eggs, which is just 1 sin each. I had 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B to finish the night. However, when I came back downstairs, I found myself getting into old habits, and I had one of these Christmas tree decorations, which are 1.5 sins. I think once I had chocolate, I just wanted a little bit more. However, I'm ending my day on 4.5 sins, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. Started off with my usual apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. For lunch, I had some rotisserie chicken with the skin taken off. I had some carrot and celery, 2 soft-boiled eggs and 30 grams of cheese for my healthy extra A. I then did 30 minutes on the treadmill, the one that we have in the garage. It's not my favourite thing to do. I'd rather go to the gym, but sometimes needs must. Then for tea, my husband said, can you make me some sort of chicken, cheesy, bacony pasta thing? And that's exactly what I did. I grilled 2 chicken breasts and covered them with some cracked black pepper. I boiled my pasta, and then I made a sauce using a tub of the seriously lighter spreadable cheese, 1 chicken stock and some cracked black pepper. I put a little bit of bacon into the sauce and on the top, and it was really nice. I had that with some carrot and some rocket on the side. I do think I went slightly over my healthy extra A portion. You're allowed 55 grams as a healthy A portion, and I used 62, so I'm going to count that excess as 1 sin. I had 2 of these bars as my healthy extra B. Then I got to do something pretty cool tonight, so I actually filmed a podcast with Claire, who does the Slimming Stories podcast. I'll tag her on this TikTok, and we got to film that, and hopefully that'll be out in a couple of weeks, but it was actually really great chatting with her and getting a little bit of insight into the work that she's doing. Then I finished off my day with one of these Guiltless Whip bars, which are 2 sins. So I'm finishing off my day on 3 sins, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. I really need someone to tell me off because my Thursday eating is not great. So I started off with some apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. I really need to start eating this before I leave the house because I ate this at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I got home late from work and had to turn straight around and take my boy to Scouts. They were doing an outdoor activity which is about 45 minutes away. And in hindsight, I should have definitely asked my hubby to take him. He would have made more than happy, and he said that afterwards. However, sometimes as a mum, you just get it in your brain that you have to do everything. Because it was so far away and a 2-hour activity, I took the camper van and I just decided to sit in the back and get some work done because it's been incredibly busy this week. So I sat whilst working and had this sniffle-busting chicken soup for my tea. It was actually really delicious. However, I'd crammed it all into this little flask. This was my little work setup that I had going on in the back of the van, trying to keep myself nice and warm with a cup of tea. When I got home, I had one of these cheeses for my healthy extra A, and I ended the day with 2 of these bars as my healthy extra B. So I did end the day on 0 sins. However, I'm a bit disappointed with the day. I usually like to have a little bit more volume than this. However, I definitely wasn't hungry going to bed. But I do definitely need to start getting my butt out of bed on a Thursday morning and stop being a lazy ass. I'll see you tomorrow.